Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you do to support this channel. And today we're going to talk about how soul food made its own history. When we think about all of the innovations that we have made in the United States, the discoveries, the inventions, the ways of doing things that we have contributed to the United States, we don't normally think about food. But the food of Black Americans, which we call soul food, is a very important part of our history. Soul food has made a name for itself. It has gone from those small, depressing slave cabins of the South into fellowship halls, banquet halls, hotels, fancy restaurants, television shows, movies, even to the White House. Soul food is America's food. And the reason that soul food has become America's food is the same reason that black music became America's music, black history became America's history, because America doesn't have a better music or better history or better food. So whatever we do becomes America's because America doesn't have anything better. Soul food is the ethnic cuisine of Black Americans, originating in the American South from the cuisines of enslaved Africans transported from Africa through the transatlantic slave trade. Soul food is closely associated with the cuisine of the southern United States. The expression soul food originated in the mid 1960s when soul was a common word used to describe Black American culture. Now, this article says soul food uses cooking techniques and ingredients from West African, Central African, Western European, and indigenous cuisines of the Americas. Now, nobody else has to share whatever they do with all these other people except Black Americans. So I'm just going to discredit that and say that soul food is the original cooking of Black Americans. The end. We can't even have cooking all to ourselves. The Italians, the Greeks, the Jamaicans, the Nigerians, they don't have to share their cooking with anybody else. But if we do it, somehow they got to edge somebody else in to give somebody else credit so that we don't get sole credit for what we do. Okay? So, that's just BS. Now, listen to this. The soul food cuisine was initially denigrated as low quality and was belittled because of its origin, which was in slavery. It was seen as low class food, slave cooking, and African Americans in the North looked down on their black Southern compatriots who preferred soul food. The concept evolved from describing the food of slaves in the South to being taken up as a primary source of pride in the Black American community, even in the North, such as New York City, Chicago, and Detroit. And I can't imagine why they would look down on Southern cooking when most of them came from the South themselves. So I'm not sure that this is a credible source, but anyway, it was the best I could find at the time. And I don't understand why they keep trying to associate Southern black cooking, soul food, with Africa when Africans come over here and don't recognize the food at all. So they need to stop telling that lie. There was an African author, very well known African author, who said with her full chest that she didn't like soul food. Well, she came from West Africa, so she didn't recognize soul food as being anything she knew anything about. She came from Nigeria, to be specific. And Nigeria, they keep trying to say all of us came from Nigeria, but they don't recognize the food that we cook. They don't recognize it, and they only like it when it's called Southern cooking and white people cooked it. They like it then. but they don't like it when it's called soul food from the people who actually created the cuisine, black people. Enslaved cooks were given minimal rations with which to prepare their own meals. They were given meat scraps from butchering. Some were permitted to grow gardens, hunt, fish, and forage in limited spare time. Some borrowed seasonings from the plantation kitchen. Enslaved cooks were experts at making something out of nothing. Dining together expressed cultural solidarity. Well, they really did make something out of nothing, and they really put a lot of love and a lot of effort into making the food good. They were cooking for their slave masters, but they were also cooking for their own families. For a very long time, all black mothers could do to really express love for their family was their cooking. So a lot of effort went into making food good. And soul food has spawned some interesting features. There are some things that we automatically associate with soul food. Hot sauce, for instance, cornbread, barbecuing, just to name a few. Then there's apple pie. There's a saying that something might be as American as apple pie. Well, that came through soul food. And then we've got these images of black cooks, Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, the original rice man. And then there are the soul food cookbooks. They do very well on the market. Just like all of Black American culture, soul food is authentic and it is original. And it has been so successful satisfying the tastes and palates of people around the world that the next generation of Black cooks are now doing TV shows and movies about cooking. And even if you go on, when you go on your social media platforms, you see all kinds of Black cooks cooking up very good looking food with very sophisticated recipes, more sophisticated probably than their ancestors used. But it's still very popular and it's enduring because it's good food and is made with a lot of love and a lot of care. So it was only going to be a matter of time before other people started benefiting from the success of soul food cooking. Now, this is Paula Deen. Paula Deen is a Southern white woman who made a fortune by using black cooks in the kitchen to cook up the soul food, and she took credit for it. And she would still be going strong, appropriating Black American cooking if she hadn't had a slip of the tongue and said something somewhat racist that turned the public off. So I want you to look at this video about one of the black women behind Paula Deen's successful appropriation of Black American cooking.
I learned how to cook here in Savannah with my grandmother and my father. My sister and I, we played house a lot. We used to, like my grandmother would cook cornbread, we would scrape the bowl and put it in a top and cook it out in the sun. So we just grew up playing house and cooking. It's an old saying back in the day that when the food was so good, they'll say, "Oh, Miss Hattie put her foot in this." And that means it was just excellent. It was good. It's a seasoning. It means she put a lot of love into it. When my grandmother cooked, she put her foot in everything she did. Everything. I like to cook most of the stuff my grandmother cooked. And my grandmother started cooking from the age of 6. I meant seriously cooking at the age of 6. I started when I was around 7 or 8. And I just kept cooking from then on. I mean, I didn't have no problem with it. Who's gonna do the cooking? I'll do it. who gonna do the cooking? I'll do it. So I did all the cooking. Now, we have food processors and stuff like that. Never use them. I'm just so old fashioned. This is how my grandmother did it. She just pulled her greens just like this here. When I was growing up, every time I went to look for a house and they didn't have two sinks, honey child didn't get it. Gotta have two sinks. Gotta do my greens. You can't do greens in one sink. These eggs are for the double eggs and the tater salad. The cute one's gonna be for the ones that don't mess up. Would be for the double eggs, and the one that does mess up would be for the tater salad. I'm getting ready to season these ribs up so they can be ready, good and ready when it's time to fry them up, because that would be the last thing I do. The last thing. So they can be good and hot and crunchy. You cook it, you enjoy cooking it, you love cooking it, you're happy about it, you ain't sad that you gotta be in the kitchen doing it. If you love your family, just get in the kitchen and have a lot of fun with it. Do what you have to do and present it on the table for them and watch them go at it. It's just what I do. It's how I do it. And I love when people eat my food. I just love it. I love when they enjoy it, that they get something out of it. They happy. They happy, I'm happy. Yeah, I put my foot in it.
That food was looking good, wasn't it? That potato salad was really looking good. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening.